explain on this day the Tape Jo, the mantra of the great compassion. And actually I did not know this is a day for celebrating the Avalokiteshwara. It just happened by accident. On this very day, namely, according to the Chinese tradition, the Avalokiteshvara renunciated and became a monk. It is very interesting in the Indian tradition, Avalokiteshvara, as you may know, as presented in Tibet, is pictured as a yogi, male yogi, sitting on a tiger skin, looking like Shiva, God Shiva. There is a lot of similarity between Shiva and Avalokiteshvara. Actually, most of these Buddhist divinities or bodhisattvas, they are related to the Hindu gods. Even so, the Buddhists don't like to hear that. They are the Samantabhadra is related to Indra, and our Avalokiteshvara is related to no one else but the Shiva and has the similar attributes. Now you may know the holiest mountain in Tibet is called Alishan, the Kailash. Kailash is dedicated to both, to Shiva and to Avalokiteshvara. For the Tibetans it is the abode of Avalokiteshvara, for the Indians it is the abode of Shiva. So the Indian sadhus go there to worship Shiva and to meet Shiva. The Buddhists go there to worship Avalokiteshvara. And they have indeed a lot of similarities, not with the Chinese Kwanzaa Yimbosa, but with the Indian version as presented in Tibetan iconography. So, those who are interested in yoga may know that not only yoga, also all different sciences are derived from Shiva. All the Sanskrit letters come from his damaru, from his drum. He is the first teacher of the yoga. And he is also the incarnation of compassion. The compassion rather in the destroying aspect. Compassion has definitely destroying aspect. Also in the tantric tradition, the Avalokiteshvara has also destroying aspect, very similar to Shiva, which is called Bhairava. And Avalokiteshvara is Mahakala. Mahakala is the greatest protector. So, even we did not know that today is the renunciation day of Avalokiteshvara, very auspicious. I have planned to on the request of some participants to teach this Tapejo today. The reason being that the Sanskrit version, most of it has meaning, not all. But the Chinese version, nothing has any meaning. Just sounds. These sounds, of course, are interpreted then by different masters as having all kinds of meanings, all kinds of aspects of. But in Sanskrit, actually, there is meaning. And now we're going to analyze this meaning. So the first sentence is Namo Ratnatrayaya. In Chinese, Namo Hola Tano Tolayeye. Namo Ratnatrayaya. So the mantra starts by salutation to the triple gem. It is also not without significance. Why salutation to the triple gem? Lanyang Jo, the Surangama mantra also starts with the salutation to the triple gem. Actually, triple gem is the embodiment of enlightenment in this world. The Buddha is a teacher of enlightenment, the Dharma is a way to enlightenment, and the Sangha, real Sangha, is the Sangha of the enlightened ones, of the disciples and bodhisattvas. Now, after that, next sentence is Namo Ratnatrayaya, Namo Arya Avalokiteshwaraya. So, the salutations to the triple gem and salutations to the Arya. Arya means Shen, noble. And Avalokiteshwara means the Lord looking down. Ava means down. Lochana means eyes, eyes looking down. And Ishvara is Lord. So it is a Lord. And he is noble one. What does it mean? The Avalokiteshvara is the one who also is the symbol of enlightenment. He belongs to the triple gem. So, Arya, what is the meaning of Arya? Noble. Who is noble? Noble is the one who has directly experienced nirvana, or suchness, or enlightenment, or emptiness, or whatever you call it. One who has directly experienced nirvana, he is sure sooner or later to get the realization. The difference between the practice of the bodhisattva and the practice of the Shravaka is that the bodhisattva, his realization is for the sake of all sentient beings, so he needs the skillful means to realize together with all sentient beings. Now, every morning we are reciting the mantra Gate, Gate, Para, Gate, Parasam, Gate, Bodhiswaha, Cheti, Cheti, Polo, Cheti, Bodhi, Sopo, Ho. This is the condition of the supreme realization, the condition of the Buddha. And the Avalokiteshwara Kwanche Rimposa actually was in the past also the Buddha. His name was, I think, the light of the real Dharma. So the Avalokiteshvara is actually inseparable from the Triple Gem. So it is a Buddha who, for the sake, due to his vows, even so being a Buddha, he appears again and again in the samsara to help sentient beings. So this is a kind of adaptation of Buddhism to the need of the people for protection. That is a Buddha. Avalokiteshvara is a Buddha who grants protection. Those who have lived in the Theravada countries like Sri Lanka, you may know that the Buddhists go to the temples, pay worship to the Buddha, but the Buddha has gone to Nirvana already, so he cannot really protect. So what do? They go next to the temple. There is a Devalaya, the place for the Hindu gods, and they pay worship. They pray for protection to the Hindu gods. The Buddha is already in Nirvana, so he will not take care of them. So there has to be Buddhas to take care, and the Avalokiteshvara is the embodiment of those. So eventually in Buddhism appeared innumerable Buddhas everywhere. So the protection is everywhere. But the greatest of all protectors is the embodiment of compassion, which is Kwanche Rimposa himself. Maybe today is a relaxing day, it's Sunday, so I will tell you some good joke. You want? Don't make it any official. I like the joke, kind of. Now, Muslim and the Jew and the Christian and whatever you name it, and the Hindu and the Buddhist. I heard this joke from Rinpoche, Tibetan. So Tibetan Buddhists in this case. They are together traveling on the plane. And when they somewhere above the Himalayas, then the pilot says, sorry, the engine is broken, there is no airport all around, so there is no way out. So you just do as you like, you jump if you can. After 5 minutes, we're going to fall. So I advise you to jump, otherwise there will be big shock and engine will start, will burn. And it's maybe better death to jump than to get burned in the engine, in the airplane. So the Muslim starts praying to the Allah. I myself have experienced a similar experience when I was in my young days flying from Calcutta to Dhaka, Bangladesh, by Bangladeshi airline. The plane started shaking. So all the people, Allah, 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 Allah. Finally it made it somehow, the landing. But that is a plain area, so it could still manage somehow with the plane from the British times. They started, then it caught up. It was overcrowded naturally, with so many people on the board, and so many luggages. So maybe similar experience. So the Muslim, Allah jumps, and the Allah saves him. Then the Jew, Yehovah, Yehovah, oy, 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 then jumps, the Yehovah saves him. Then the Christian jumps, Jesus save me, Jesus save me, okay, Jesus save me. Then the Buddhist jumps and says, Buddha, protect me now from the heaven comes a big sound. Which Buddha you mean? So many Buddhas, uncountable Buddhas. So very easy to get confusion. So anyway, the Avalokiteshwara Bodhisattva is the incarnation of compassion, the quality of compassion, and this quality of compassion should be the inseparable part of the Triple Gem. I myself tend to believe that this difference between so-called Hinayana and Mahayana came because the many monks in the Sangha, they were only concerned with their own liberation and did not bother to help the others. And farmers and so on, they have their own religion. They need someone to protect their families, to protect their crops and so on. So there was a need to connect this symbol of realization, the Triple Gem, with the symbol of compassion. So among the qualities that lead to Buddhahood, compassion is most important. It is the compassion which is the real reason for giving rise to bodhicitta. If there is no compassion, the giving rise to bodhicitta has no meaning at all. And this giving rise to bodhicitta has become very often just a convention. Not coming from the heart. The Avalokiteshwara is the most powerful of all the bodhisattvas, in the sense that the power of realization depends on the power of compassion. So next, after Namo Arya Avalokiteshvara, comes the Bodhisattvaya. Bodhisattva is one who has given rise to bodhicitta. Actually, the whole practice of bodhisattva is different stages of practicing bodhicitta, that's all. There is bodhicitta by intention, there is bodhicitta by realization, there is bodhicitta by still with impure conduct, bodhicitta with pure conduct, bodhicitta with assurance of Buddhahood, bodhicitta without assurance of Buddhahood. All kinds of divisions in the practice of the bodhisattva all have to do with bodhicitta. And the different stages of the bodhisattva practice are nothing else but the different stages of bodhicitta. Starting from collecting the equipment for belonging to the family of the Buddhas, to the practice of determination, then the realization of the adhyashaya, of the ila, of the resolution, of desire, and then the different stages of bodhisattva realizations up to the Buddhahood. All are the deeper and deeper realizations of the bodhicitta. And bodhicitta literally means there are several explanations on the base of Sanskrit. Bodhicitta we can translate as the mind which is body, or the mind mind and the body, or the mind of body. All these translations are possible on the basis of Sanskrit. So the bodhicitta basically means nothing but the mind which is attuned to body. In the tradition of Yogacara, as you may know, the citta is a synonym of alaya vijnana, of the store consciousness. So the citta has the meaning of that mind which is capable of actually accumulating our previous karma. And that mind has the connotation of the universal mind. It has a connotation of the universal mind. Why? Because it is a mind which is capable of storing everything. Logically, when it can store everything, it can also produce everything. The sattva, the meaning of sattva is a being. So bodhisattva is a being which has body. Body here means the bodhicitta. So bodhi is from the root but, which means to awake. So we can translate, it is a being which has awakened to the body in the sense of bodhicitta. To the big body. The citta is the royal path to enlightenment, to the big body, when one realizes that it can store everything. So the first salutation to the triple gem, then salutation to the noble Lord who looks downwards in compassion, that is to say, and who is the one who has given rise to the big mind, precisely because of looking down in compassion. And he is Maha Sattva. Maha means great and Sattva, it's being. When one has given rise to this big mind, big mind of realization. That means a mind which does not distinguish between one's own realization and the realization of others. In the mantra of Poje Polomito Shinching, of the Heart Sutra, it is a meaning of the Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha, which means the one who, even so he is gone, he is still going. He is gone, still going. He is gone to the other shore. He is gone to the other shore. Some well and together with all beings. This is a great Bodhi. Swaha. Hail. Swaha means hail. When in India they make oblations to the fire, or always swaha, 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 butter. So, Namo Ratnatrayaya, Namo Arya Avalokiteshwaraya, Mahasattvaya. 4 attributes we have now. Now we have 3, explained 3, there comes the 4th attribute, Mahakarunikaya. Maha means great, Karuna means compassion. Karunika means belonging to the compassion, belonging to the great compassion, or having the great compassion. So the Avalokiteshvara is noble. He has realized nirvana directly. He has given rise to the big mind. Therefore, he has become the great being, Mahasattva. And he is endowed with a great compassion. Because he is the great being in the sense of he wants to go to the other shore with all beings together, not by himself. So he finds always skillful means to bring beings to the other side who can be brought there. So then, after these attributes of the noble Avalokiteshvara, comes Om. Om is the beginning of all mantras, as you know, and its meaning, it is called pranava. Its meaning is actually nothing but the sound of universal harmony, all-inclusive. It is explained as the consciousness harmonizing everything, harmonizing the awakened state, the dream state, the sleep state, and the state of realization. And this harmony penetrates each and every phenomena. So it can be identified as the vibrations which keep the universe together. So in no mantra the Om can be missing. So Om, literally it means Aum. In yoga, this recitation of the Om is the most powerful means for realization, so it is believed. It is the beginning of the Vedas, or of all knowledges. So after that, Om comes what is another attribute of noble Avalokiteshvara. He is Sarva Bhayeshu Trana Karaya. He is the one who protects in all kinds of fears. Sarva means all, Bhayeshu means fears, Tranaya. Sarva Bhayeshu Trana Karaya. The one Kara means to make, one who makes protection in regard to all fears, or in all fears. So it is very significant here, it comes after Om. That means this compassion of Avalokiteshvara is all including, harmonizing all. So then comes, I don't read according to the text I have, I read according to how I have learned it. This text that I have very often does not make any sense, so I cannot make head and and tail of it. So the next one, according to the text that I have learned, as published in Taiwan, Sarva Bhayeshu Trana Karaya Tasmai Namaskritya Imam Arya Avalokiteshvara. To that one I pay my respect. Literally, having paid my respect to that one who is giving protection in all fears, Tava Nila Kanta Hridayam Avartaishyami. Tava means your, Nila means blue, Kanta means throat, Hridaya means heart, Avartaishyami, I will turn. So having bowed to that one who is giving protection in all fears, I will turn my heart towards his blue neck. Why the Shiva, both, and Avalokiteshwara, they have affinity, both have blue neck, like a peacock, kung chue. Why? Because the more poison of the living beings they take on themselves, the more beautiful they become. Just like the peacock can suck poison and his color becomes more beautiful. So the Avalokiteshvara is the one who becomes more and more beautiful by taking on himself the suffering of all beings. So he becomes the most powerful of all. There is no greater power than the power of this great compassion. That's why, just like Shiva, who is also called Nilakanta, they both called Nilakanta, because Shiva also, just like Avalokiteshvara, becomes more and more powerful by accepting the sufferings of all beings. That's why both are called Mahakarunika, endowed with great compassion. Great compassion is taking on oneself the sufferings of beings. Sarva artha sadhanam shubham ajeyam bhava marga vishuddhakam. Next attribute of Avalokiteshvara. Sarva artha sadhanam shubham. Sarva artha sadhanam shubham ajeyam. The Avalokiteshvara, sarva artha means all, sarva means all, artha means purpose. Sadhana means accomplishment. Shubha means auspicious. So this Avalokiteshvara with his blue neck, with his great compassion, he is indeed auspicious for the accomplishments of all purposes. In other words, the great compassion accomplishes all purposes. Ajeyam, it cannot be vanquished. The great compassion practiced in such a way by accepting the poisons of the beings cannot be vanquished. So, sarva bhutanam bhava marga vishuddhakam. It is vishuddhakam, it is that which purifies. The bhava means existence, marga means a path. Sarva bhutanam, it purifies the path of existence of all beings. That great compassion is that power which purifies the path of existence of all beings. That is a meaning. This great compassion of Avalokiteshvara appears in each and every state of existence. So it has the aspect of the universal force, universal realization. So, sarva artha sadhanam shubham ajayam sarva bhutanam bhava marga vishuddhakam. Om, again Om. Om tatyata, such as. Tatyata means such as. Aloke, aloke, aloka means light. This compassion appears in the light. This great power of purifying all states of existences appears in the light. And before that aloke comes Om. It is all penetrating. And it appears as light. The great compassion purifying all states of existence appears as light. Or appears in the light. Aloke, aloke, loka mati atikrante. Repeat it twice. Aloke, in the light, in the light. Loka, it means world. Mati means differentiating wisdom. Atikrante means surpassing. This light of great compassion is surpassing all differentiating wisdom. In the world, loke, lokamati atikrante. That differentiating wisdom is in the world, but the great compassion is beyond the world. What it means, the arahats, the path of the arahats is especially the path of the differentiating wisdom. The path of the bodhisattvas is the path of non-differentiating wisdom. The two, however, are not in contradiction. This because the non-differentiating wisdom, which surpasses the differentiating wisdom, appears everywhere, should appear everywhere. So brings harmony to all. So aloke, aloke, loka mati atikrante. In the light, this compassion purifying all states of existence, appear in the light which surpasses the differentiating wisdom in the world. Aloke, aloke, lokamati atikante. He, hare, he naturally has no meaning. He. He is an exclamation. Oh, in English, oh. He, Maha Bodhisattva. Oh, the great Bodhisattva. You the great practitioner of Bodhichitta. He Maha Bodhisattva. Smara Hridayam. Smara means remember. Now you are practicing Anapanasati. This is a related word in Sanskrit. Smrti. So smara, remember. Smara Hridayam. Remember the heart. What it means? The Avalokiteshwara has the vows to, in his heart, to purify all states of existence. So this is a prayer to Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara that he remembers his heart. Kuru karma sadhaya. Remember your heart and make the acts for accomplishment. Dhuru vijayante. Dhuru is a very strange word, but actually it should be from the meaning of hold. Hold. Dhara actually would be better, but this is, in mantras they can change according to the sound or according to the power of energy. So it should mean hold. Hold.